Hi, I'm Monday Salmon. Okay, so today we are going to do the second episode. So this is season 1, episode 2. We are going to choose a spider as the beginner. Now you've got a lot of things to consider. Depending on the money you would like to spend on them, that's going to be one of your things. Do you want a spider for handling or just display? That's going to be another thing. But let's start with the beginning. What I've got here is one of everybody's favorite tarantula to start with. Just missed a bit. It's feeding day tomorrow. Anyways, what we got here is Chilean rose. This is a normal color form. It's now classified as Grammostola porteri, and the red color form is Grammostola rosea. So anyways, your Chilean rose is a slow grower, but it's a very good spider to start with. People do get a bit bored with them, but I think if you get bored with your first tarantula, then you are not made for this hobby anyway. Your Chilean roses are nice display spiders. They're nice to handle, they grow slow, and they're quite hardy. So if you start with a Chilean rose or any of your Grammostola species, you basically have room for mistakes. Whereas if you start with another spider that's also good to start with is your Avex, like versicolors and those type of spiders. They're quite docile. But your problem there is that you don't have room for mistakes. If you make a mistake with a boreal, versicolor or Avex, then you're basically screwed. The spider will die. Whereas if you forget to feed your Grammostolas, or you forget water, you forget to put air holes in the sides, or anything like that, then it is quite forgiving. So you will find it the next day still alive and well. And your Avex and your boreal spiders also can't take too much heat. Whereas your rosies, they can take quite a bit of heat, and you're also your Chacos and your Brachypelma species. But then again, Avex are also not for handling because they do jump. And if you do handle your spider, you should always handle it over something. I don't think if you can see, but I've got basically a table where I'm having it on now. And you can see my hands as along the side the whole time in case it do try to run out. With your new wilts, they will first flick hair. Let me just get a paintbrush quickly. This is also how I normally take them out, as I use a paintbrush to just see what mood they're in. Because even though they are new wilt species, some of them do have a temper on them. So they can bite. Any animal can bite. Whether it's a dog or a cat or... But anyways, your Grammostolas are pretty cool to start with. As I said, they are docile, you can handle them. But when you handle any spider, you can expect to get a bite. I have been bitten before by one of your beginner species actually. I have been bitten by a Brachypelma smithy once. That was quite cute. But it was my own fault. Nobody else's fault. I did irritate it. I was packing it for shipping. So I did irritate it a bit, and it got angry and it bit me. And the Avex later at the expo bit me. Somebody didn't feed it. They brought it to me and said, listen, I don't want it anymore. And the female was quite hungry. Anyways, let's see. So as you can see, I'm using this little paintbrush to irritate it a bit. It did not flick yet, which means it's not even angry at me yet. As soon as it's angry, it will lift its two front legs. So spiders aren't supposed to be handled. I do handle them. I know a lot of people do not recommend handling them, but I do handle them, and sometimes I don't have a choice. When I'm mating spiders, they will occasionally run a spider up my arm or something like that. So sticking to the Grammostola species still, let's see, where's the Chaco. Okay, I've got it. I've actually just fed her zoom out a bit here. Okay, so this is your Chaco golden. This is a very attractive spider. The lighting in my room is, in my spider room, hey, come here Roach, you are going to be eaten just now. Anyways, the lighting in the spider room is not that good, but this is a very, very attractive tarantula. As you can see, it's got golden markings on the leg. Now with all your Grammostolas, they've got like what we call a mirror patch or a golden triangle on the bum. Now your Chacos are definitely your best beginner species. You don't get a better spider than a Chaco. They're really thick, they really lift up. Now I've heard some people say that the Chaco is in a bad mood and stuff like that. But you have to consider that even though you just fed it yesterday, it can still be hungry. You could have given it a fright or anything like that. So there's lots of things that we have to keep in mind. But your Chacos are also quite nice to start with. If you do make a mistake with them, they're also forgiving. You won't have a problem with them. And they're also cheap. Your rosies and your Chacos are cheap to start with, so if you do make a mistake, you can always get another one. But it's not very likely that you're gonna kill it. You have to abuse a Chaco or a rosie or curly to kill them. I'm not saying kill the spider or anything like that, I'm just saying that they don't die easily. Now another spider that's very, very high in demand, but they are pricey, and this is my favorite. You do not get a better spider than this. I love them. So this is your Grammostola pulchra. It is one of my favorite species. I'm sorry, I just want to get the... As you can see, it's pitch black. It's also Grammostola, so it does have the mirror patch. They're also quite docile, and they are very, very beautiful. But the problem is the pricing for these in 2016, this year, for slings are still at 500 Rand each, or some people do have them for a bit less, for 450. But if you are going to start with a spider, it's best to... Sorry, let me just take this off so I can show you properly. It's best to start with one of your cheaper species. As I said, the lighting is bad, so you can't really see how beautiful it is. I've got one that just molted actually. Let me show you this. But these are also hardy species, and you're also able to handle them. This one just molted a few days ago. She's also a beautiful female. Okay, so anyway, so that is all your ones for your Grammostolas that I would recommend. There's a few other Grammostolas, but they're not really in South Africa yet. I know people are selling Grammostola SP Conception or whatever, but whether it is true or not, I don't know. But they look like normal roses to me, and believe me, if they are what people say they are, they won't be in South Africa yet. Stanley also said that he thinks it's just basically a money making thing, because even he doesn't have them in his collection. And he wrote the Tarantula Keeper's Guide that is now in its 3rd edition, I think, 3rd or 4th. Anyways, now we're getting to your Brachypalmas. Sorry, I know it says golden red rump mature male on there, but as you can see, I marked it curly with a label. It's obviously not a golden red rump. Golden red rumps are okay to start with, but they do get a bit nippy and skittish. This is your normal curly hair. This one do have a funny coloration to it. You won't be able to see now, so I don't have that good lighting, but it's like brownish instead of black and coppery. Your curlies are also very, very, very cute spiders. You also have to abuse them to kill them, so there's space for learning. They are really, really good spiders. And if you keep it a bit too wet or a bit too dry, you can always just fix it with no problem. And we haven't had curly bites in South Africa so far that I've heard of. But like I said, it's what I've heard of. So anyways, that is your curly hair. They are super cheap. So you can buy like 5 of them if you have to. No, don't put them in a tank together because they will chow each other. Now this is Brachypelma smiffy. This is actually the one that bit me. I was packing it to send it away, and I irritated a bit and she bit me. So I changed it with another one that's a bit more docile, and I kept this one for myself. As you can see, your red knees are really colorful, they're really beautiful. If you are going to start with something that you want as a display and not for handling, I would recommend your red knee. People do handle them, but like I said, it's not recommended to handle any spider. But if you want to, then just use a paintbrush, tap it a bit, see what the reaction is. But your red knees are beautiful and also docile, also very hardy. At the moment they are a bit scarce, but that will hopefully change soon. Sorry for the noise in the back, it's my rats having a ball. And you know, they don't grow that slow. And your curlies also don't grow slow as your Grammostolas. So it is quite interesting to see them molt, and they like to eat. That's also always a good thing for beginners. Do not get bored with your spiders. If you don't like the first one, you can always try another one. But like I said, I don't think you will get bored with spiders. Anyways, as you can see, the coloration is very, very beautiful. It looks like little fire and flames and stuff on the legs. But as you can see, this one is a bit skittish because she's already pulling her legs in. And no, I'm not taking another bite from her. It was unpleasant to say the least. You know, if a spider bites me or anyone bites me, I expect them to take me out for dinner first. So this one I just took out. This is not a Brachypelma. This is your pink zebra beauty. And I saw it just molted into a mature male, which is quite sad to me. I'm not going to disturb it too much. As you see, the skin is still there. It's a very beautiful spider. And they are also super docile. You also can handle them if you wish to do so, but remember the rule, always expect a bite. And you don't want tarantulas flying in the air while you're throwing them or something if they do decide to bite you, because you don't want the tarantula to fall and rupture the abdomen or anything like that. Anyways, your Grammostola, they are a very nice species and they are very docile. They rarely ever flick, so they are quite cool also to start with. And then the last one I'm going to show you is the bee Amelia, which brings me to the fire legs. Also nice, but the hair are very irritating, so if it gets on your skin you're going to get very irritated because it is itchy. Now your bee Amelia, your red leg, is also a really pretty spider to start with. They're also very docile, and they also don't need much attention. They are really pretty spiders. So you can also start with one of these. But like I said, take a paintbrush, test the temperament, see if they flick or want to bite or anything like that before you just take them out of your hand and handle them. Now there's many other species that are also good. Most of your Brachypelma species are good to start with. The only thing is, like your bee vagans, your red drums and your golden red drums, they are aggressive feeders. So whenever you throw anything in, they just attack because they think it's food. Same with most of your bird eaters, your salmon pinks, your white knees, all of those. Never start with an old world spider, never. And like I said, with the old world is basically all your species from Africa, you know, in those places. And they do tend to bite because they don't flick hair. They don't have the hair to flick. Don't think I'm saying that they don't have hair. I'm just saying they don't have the irritating hair that's going to make you itch and stuff like that. They will bite without hesitation. So best to start with a new world. And like I said, your arboreal species, they are not so good to start with. Because if you do make a mistake, if you forget your cross ventilation or something, now people do keep them with so little ventilation, and some of them do live. But I mean, a lot of people smoke and they don't get cancer or they don't die from smoking, but eventually they do die. But anyways, that's not the point. My point is just that if you do decide to keep arboreals, just make sure you've got the basics of keeping arboreals down, which we will do in a next video on how to keep the arboreals. But for now, we'll stick to all the terrestrial spiders and your New World spiders. You also get your dwarf species, but they also do tend to be a bit nippy and they're quite fast, so you wouldn't be able to handle them anyway because they would run out. Same with your old worlds, also very, very fast, and they do bite and run. And with your old worlds, if they bite, it can be hospital. How can I put it? You can go to the hospital, to put it simply. And with your new worlds, if you are allergic, then you might go to the hospital, but their venom ain't potent. So, but all your tarantulas do have venom. But so far, I've never heard somebody die of a tarantula bite. So far, don't be the first one. So, anyways, these are the spiders I recommend to start with. Stuff like your green bottle blue is beautiful. It's really a stunning spider, but I don't recommend them as they are skittish. They are fast and they will also bite. And the bites aren't nice. Haitian brown, been bitten. Beautiful spider, skittish, bites not that nice. Anyways, and just to clear something up, it's like a lot of people say that if you're allergic to bees and a spider bite you, you're going to get in trouble or you're going to die or whatever. But that is not the case, because most of us are allergic to bees and we've been bitten plenty of time by tarantulas. And then another thing is I'm allergic to the tarantula hair when they flick, but I'm not allergic to the bite itself. Not yet anyway. The hair that I got allergic to was not just I got allergic, it took me 8-9 years. I only started last year to get allergic to the hair. So it is something that came over time. But I'm still alive and I'm still breathing. The only thing is your throat gets closed up and you start itching and you get a rash and you basically feel like you're gonna shave your skin off because it's so itchy and burning and it feels like needles pricking and it's really irritating, and your throat feels dry and sore, and so that's when you're allergic to them. But normally if a New World tarantula do flick the hair, you will feel some itching and it's not pleasant. But do not let that scare you off from spiders. As you see, none of them flicked yet, and they are really, really rewarding pets to keep. They distract you from your problems. It's really good to see them feed. It really does releases your stress and stuff like that. It's really soothing to watch them eat and to watch them molt and just walk and go by your normal day, you know. And I mean, to collect them is just awesome. And get your kids, or get all of your kids to collect them, because they won't have money for drugs or alcohol, because they will spend all their money on tarantulas. And yeah, so anyways, if you are new to the hobby, welcome. We do hope you enjoy it. There are a bunch of assholes in the hobby, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm one of them. But just find the good people, and also just buy from reputable breeders, please, because people do tend to want to make a quick buck and sell you anything under any name. And while we are on the topic of any name, start learning the scientific names from the beginning. It's very, very easy. At the beginning I also used the common names, but I got sold a blue curly hair and a blue tree spider and a blue this and a blue that, and because I was crazy about the blue spiders when I started. I wanted them all. And eventually I just got normal curlies and rosies that people sold under all different names. Curly hair, curled up hair, curly whirly, Honderian curly, Honderian tree spider. You know, they sell these things under any name, so just use the scientific name, because you can't go wrong with it. You can easily look that up. Anyways, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed that video. Please give it a like, subscribe for more videos. And I think next up we will do the how to keep your arboreal spiders successfully, that is. Thank you all for watching. Bye bye.